Hello, folks. As usual, I'm going to do one round of tech checks to make sure that the audio and video and everything else is working. I'm making sure that there is no echo, my volume is coming out clearly, all of that. So one round of checks before we run into the presentation and have a chat. Please do chime in on chat and say, hey, everything is working fine. The chat works with a delay. The typical Zoom session chat works almost pronto, straight away. But here there's probably 30-second, 35-second delay. So I need to feel reassured. So I'm going to wait for the first comment to come in where people say, hey, this is fine. You can indeed see me and hear me. And then we can echo Sriram saying, hey, things are fine. But indeed, the audio and video are both working fine. So thank you. Thanks a lot, Sriram. So I'm going to spend maybe another 10 seconds having a chat. And then we will jump in with the prepared presentation we can do for. I'm going to break this into three parts. One is have a discussion on XAT, about 8-10 minutes maximum, and then another is 8-10 minutes of chat about CAT 2023. Those who are thinking about that for the year, what should they do? And then we'll do about 10 minutes of Q&A. And Happy New Year to all of you. I'm a big sucker for new beginnings. I'm a big sucker for starting things afresh. So, probably because I do make mistakes every now and then and rather frequently. So I want to draw a line and say, okay, done. All my mistakes are done. Now I'm a whole new person, and I want to attack everything rather more vigorously in the new year. Obviously, enthusiasm, vigor, Josh, everything fades through the year. Now is not the time to think about that. Now is the time to say, hey, it's all fun. Everything is going to go fantastic. And Happy New Year once again to all of you. You have a fantastic year. Hope all of us have a phenomenal year. I'm going to be talking more about that when we do our 2023. So, Archibus very kindly put together a rather interesting presentation. I'm going to attack that. I'm going to see if we can share that and go for to see do the. Give me a second. I'm just setting this up. I rather struggle with doing two things at a time. So here, I hope you can all see me and hear me clearly. I'm going to talk about XAT. Hopefully, the presentation and the conversation, everything is going on fine. There's nothing short. Lovely. Let's talk XAT. These people who have not done, where CAT has not gone really well, focus a lot on XAT. Those of you for whom CAT has gone phenomenally well, once again, focus a lot on XAT. But quite a few instances of people for whom XAT has fallen in place, even though CAT didn't fall in place. And a couple of instances, at least, where CAT went rather well, XAT is also all right, but they ended up joining XLRI because ABC didn't work out. And so I've had people who got 99.6 plus in CAT, 98.3, 98.4 in XAT, and ended up with XLRI and not because ABC didn't work. And so do not underestimate XAT, even if your CAT has gone fantastically well. There are no guarantees for this exam. Super competitive place India has. So attack XAT. Don't sit on your laurels if CAT has gone well. If CAT has not gone well, then attack. Take it out on XAT. What are the things to adjust for XAT? To give an analogy, CAT has a narrower band of range of difficulty. It's almost like if you're saying, look, I'm preparing for CAT. It's like saying I'm going to pat on a one-day match or a 50-over international match, where I know that a good target, this is somewhere between 280 and 320. So you're looking to score 300. That's how the wicket is, and you go there. You probably still have to make some adjustments, make some plan changes. That's what it is. But XAT paper is almost as if you go there and you don't know whether it's a 180 wicket or a 400 wicket. You don't know. More interestingly, you don't know whether it's it could be a 180 wicket in VRC, 400 wicket in quant, and a 190 wicket for business decision making. And so you have to take decisions on the fly. Your preconceived notions or ideas of how much you need to score go out of the window rather rapidly in XAT and frequently. And so because of the variance in level of difficulty across years, across sections is dramatic. And so that's the theme, and how do we manage with that? You've got to remember that if the section is tougher, then quite simply, fewer correct answers are going to get you through. Very simple take. After the section, lower the marks to go through. If fewer correct answers are going to get you through, then accuracy is way more important than attempts. And so it's like it's a wicket where you have 50 to chase out of 60 deliveries. Even that is tricky. You take 2 deliveries and hit them for 6, you're practically through. Then you can munch and prod and you're sailing. And so it is, if the tougher the exam is, the more increasingly more accuracy plays out. Attempts matter less and less. So the tougher the exam is, the more happier you should be leaving questions. You should say, look, 10 minutes into the quant, you should be able to say, okay, 5 questions and I'm clearing section cutoff. 6, I'm comfortable. 7, I'm flying. So I leave merrily to get 5 in the bag and then think about the question. 5 questions in the bag is a starting point if the section is tough, sometimes 4. And so, which means you need to find the 5 simplest questions. Getting stuck in 2 really tricky questions can kill your score. And the variation within section is also very high. You'll find some impossibly beautiful question. 2-3 years ago, there was a question which is a rectangle. How many circles can you place along the diagonal such that the circles don't overlap and they don't touch the sides of the line? For a square, it is very doable. The rectangle is frightfully difficult because the circle sitting on the center on the diagonal will go and hit one side sooner than it hits the other side. Pain. And then the other question will be distance is x and speed is y, and find time in minutes or something like that. And so it's a dramatically different thing. Sorry, because my daughter trying to peep it. So it's dramatically difficult and dramatically easy questions. You just slip through. So leave merrily. If you sense the section being slightly tough, leave even happier. Have a strategy for each section. The strategy for each section that I would go with very clearly. You're going in with an expectation of a level of difficulty. The level of difficulty is slightly higher. The plan is to leave happier. The tougher the section is, the more you should be leaving. You should say, the sweet spot questions, only those I attempt. For business decision making, you should do some amount of thinking about what kind of questions you're doing. The ethical dilemma questions I'm happier doing, because according to me, there is no ethical dilemma from an XAT point of view. I will not do something silly ethically because some other metric is working. Ethics are a deal breaker. I don't do something that is 5% wrong ethically and 90% right business. No, it's unethical. It's not done. And because I know I like operating in black and white, no secret. It's how I'm most comfortable. Therefore, the ethical dilemma questions I navigate to, because anything that is borderline analytical, I can take out all those choices. I like them. I like the ones in the business context rather than a personal context. So I have my preference hierarchy list. And sometimes I look at a set and say, I'm not feeling comfortable about this at all. So create a mechanism to be able to evaluate business decision. So the one set of type of questions, just A, B, C, D, E are there. Arrange them in descending order in which you apply. Those are killers. They get buried in those. If they say find the best one, I'm happy. They say arrange in order, then I'm dead. I won't test. And so have your checklist, especially for business decision making. Capitalize on your strengths, goes without saying. For quant, pick the easy ones. If your foundation probability or geometry is your strength, select them. Don't camp on them and say I'll get everything right at this. But do select. Do look for selecting those. For business decision making, as I said, ethical dilemma question, business context question, personal decision question, categorize them like that. It's descending order of multiple options question, those can leave. Have a matrix to say what I like, what I don't. Happy 2023. Enjoy yourself. Have a blast. I'm going to stop sharing the screen. I'm going to look for figure out a way of getting to the point where I can stop sharing the screen. I'll have one very quick look at the chat window, and then I'll go back to saying, hey, if there's no questions there, I'll go back to the second half. How to practice DA in just 1 week, Aditya Raghuram. So the easiest way to think about DA in just 1 week is do the previous year XAT questions the last 3-4 years. Some of the DA ones are like puzzles, some numbers thrown at the nice, other nice, fun to do. Some are brute force, which also at least the decision making is easy. I like this. I take. So have the previous year question papers done. That is good. I'm aiming for CAT 2023, but I'm preparing for CFA level 1 and I'm in BBA third year. I'm managing all 3 things difficultly or with difficulty. I can give 4 hours only for CAT till November 23. Is it okay? If you're talking about 4 hours daily, that's overkill. Saying 4 hours per week, that is too. You should look to do about 10 hours per week for CAT preparation. Apart from an hour of reading every day, 1 hour of reading every day is mandatory. That's not negotiable. Apart from that, you're looking at 10 hours per week. That's good enough. Don't need more than that. General knowledge, you can't really hard put general knowledge in the last week. Go through the last month, newspapers, magazines, go through them. Blogs, PDFs, whatever you can lay your hands on, go through them. Spend more time retaining details. You need to know GDP numbers, Olympic records, you need to know cabinet ministers' names. Pretty glad I'm not doing this exam. But you need to know detail. You can't say generally this the ministry said this, whom the ministry said what. Super important. So you can't faff about it. So remember detail. Asking I've heard that the negative marking for uninterpreted questions, how to go about it. Simple rule of thumb. This works for CAT, also for XAT. Don't punt it. Don't punt. There is a gradation in negative marking. They're basically saying if you don't know stuff, don't guess. And so all the time there is a theme, and then there are rules. And then finally there's a takeaway for what is the actionable thing for me because of this theme idea that they have, and this rule they have. How should I change my exam taking strategy? Don't punt too much. Don't take guesses too much. That's it. Other things will follow. Aditya Raghuram says, happy and healthy 2023. You too, my friend. You too. What are my chances? Pranav Kulkarni score 98.52 is wonderful. I'm not going to answer that question. Please post it on comments later on. We will take it up. It's excellent. As far as the calls are concerned, look, you can feed in the numbers. Your 10th, 12th are excellent. To be very honest, even without information, this is a dicey question for me to answer. How the information is there. Nothing I say is going to balm your ears much. I say high excellent chance or 73% chance or I don't know. None of these matter. The numbers are done, you've done, there's no variable left, you can't change anything now. We cannot wait and say, hey, we'll wait for the content. Okay. Super. I'm going to shift back to my presentation. Have a very quick chat about 2023. Share the screen entirely. Hoping that nothing embarrassing is being shared. Let's see. So if you were talking about 2023, so as I said, I'm a big fan of stuff like New Year celebrations. It's a beautiful chance to reboot. My brain stops working, struggles to work. There are multiple variables. So if I have a stack of 18 things to do, I need to clear out my top 5 before thinking about 10, 11, 14. If I have 7 tabs open on Chrome, after that my brain stops working. I have to clear out and close the three to open up. So I don't understand the youngsters in my office who have 40 tabs open. Like, when are you going to read that? Be like sometime in the future, then close it. And so, but hey, that's not that's not for me to say. They still keep 45 tabs open. I don't understand that, but they do. Guys in my office have 40 tabs open. Some of the tabs have been open for weeks, months. I want to shut down my computer once in 3 days, every day practically. I want to shut down the laptop once in 3 days. I restart my phone. I'm a big fan of, I clear out the fridge. And I'm like, you start from zero and then build out again. New Year's are brilliant. Like, it's an opportunity to have a clean slate. When we have a clean slate, we understand all our weaknesses, all our problems that we have. The fact that I've been slightly overweight for several years now, or for a decade now, it's not lost on me. I know that I've given donations to several gyms that have not really gone more than twice or thrice. But it's still meaning to stick your neck and say, hey, I will be a different version of me this year, and say I'm going to attack this. This is a clean slate. I will overcome my weaknesses. You may not overcome them completely. We are a product of our times, of our quirks, of our different character traits, our vulnerabilities, and our weaknesses. We can't wish any of these. It cease to be us if we wish any one of these things up. So, but none of those should come in the way of teeing ourselves up and saying, look, I'll have one more. He asked me what is, I don't want to sound like I'm giving yarn, but I struggle with being consistent. I struggle with being disciplined. I have moments of inspiration where I do tons of work, and then a 26-hour phase when I'm doing jack. So I create artificial deadlines so that my inspirations are thrust on. And I try to capitalize on my inspirations so that I do lots of work. So if I'm rather poor on discipline and rather poor on routine and consistency, so what am I about? I'm relentless. I can pick myself up. I get beaten up. My cat goes badly, I'll think about XAT. My kitty goes badly, I'll say MBNH, I'm sure. I'll find the next thing to get excited about, sometimes rather too easily, so I don't even pause to process. But it's very important to say, hey, this is gone, next day will come. And so clean start and fresh start is fabulous. This comic strip is one of my all-time favorites, probably the most favorite strip. Calvin and Hobbes is a brilliant comic strip. Because if you haven't tried it, stop everything else you're doing, try that. Worth your while. Bill Watterson is a phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal writer. So this is last strip for Calvin and Hobbes. So a new year, a fresh, clean start. It's like having a white sheet of paper to do on. You really can't ask for much more than that. Please go explore. So we have a wonderful offer on all our courses. Like 3 days, Jan 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Check it out. You don't have to buy any course, but spend time to evaluate. And spend time to evaluate on your own. Check it out. Check out our courses. Several people have taken value from it. We obviously love our course. We've taken a lot of effort to structure it well, give a covering around. I find several times online courses just become video dumps. You don't want that. I want to know how. I want our students to know what they are learning, how much they are learning, what they are understanding, taking stock, figuring out all of that. And that course is structured like that to help take value more than anything else. Right? So evaluate it, try it out. It's probably going to be a fantastic year to do an MBA. Very clearly, India is in the cusp of some interesting global things. The technology is available. Our gap technologically vis-a-vis the West is just narrow. Our gap vis-a-vis the West has not been this narrow ever. Our air is more polluted, our water is more polluted, our systems are less developed, governance mechanisms. But guys sitting in Bangalore, Patna, Mumbai, New York have access to the same set of websites, quite possibly at the same speeds, and very likely that the Indian people are accessing it at much lower cost. So the playing field to compete globally has never been this flat, this level in Indian history. And because of some of our inherent cost advantages, we have a cost play over all of these guys, over the West. Our politicians and governance mechanisms and bureaucrats can still find ways to screw it up. They've been remarkably good at that for 70 years. They will find something. But notwithstanding all that, probably geopolitically we are in a lucky spot. The world and their mother want to find something, find supply chain options which are not China dependent all the time. So that could be an opportunity. Everybody wants to have data centers across the world. That could be an opportunity. Everybody is looking for the next consumption market. Hey, that's us. So several factors are conspiring to make India a sweet spot for business. The best way to take advantage of that is to do an MBA. Could be the guy starting the next company. Could be working for the guy who starts the next company. 5 of you could be teaming up together and coming up with a new business model. And the sense of possibility that I'm seeing in the Indian economy, and the youngsters who are graduating now, is very high. Sometimes I get annoyed because I think that some of the models are completely cut off from reality. Some of the models are built to crash. The sooner they crash, the happier I will be. And as an economist skeptic. But that's a discussion for another day. Some of the business models I think are absolute duds. But that doesn't take away from the fact that there is ambient opportunity, loads of it, tons of new avenues to start and build and grow, lots of capital that is still widely available. These are going to come up eventually after some of these duds die a slow, painful death. They're going to come up with good entities that are meaningful for the economy, to do something, fill some gap, something. And the best way to participate in that is through doing an MBA from a good school. So it is going to be phenomenally valuable to do an MBA in the next 10 years. The best time to do an MBA is now in Indian history. So think about it. Definitely consider the option. I'm pretty much done with my bad script. I'm going to stop sharing. Our offers are valid for Jan 1, 2, 3. Check out the course. I'm sure you'll be blown away. I will say that. But the course is compellingly good. Put blood and sweat into it for 9 years. Tweaked and improved and modified and all kinds of things for 9 successive CATs. And so, even if I say so myself, we rather know what we're doing. Put together the greatest things that structure and pedagogy. We worry and agonize about how well to teach one idea. A lot. That is the crux of what we are. And it strikes home. So many times I find students coming back and saying, this one idea is going to be stuck in my mind for a lifetime. And I didn't understand it when it was taught to me in semester. So many thanks for drilling it in. It's super heartening whenever we hear that, because we are, in essence, what we are about is that breaking ideas down and presenting them in compellingly good ways is our reason to exist. And so, and you'll be able to check that out and validate it if you spend half an hour. So take time out to check that. I'm going to stop share. I'm going to take questions after I set up the screen. See the chat part. Lovely. Give me a second. Antkrish Shukla saying, currently pursuing my MBA from IMI New Delhi. Thanks for amazing content. Super. Many thanks for taking the time out and saying, hey, I'm going to jump in here and say this out loud here in this place. Thanks a lot. Does 2IM have a course that particularly target WAT and interview? We have a GTPI course. You check out, put 2IM personal interview course. You'll find something on YouTube on Google search will give you that. As someone from arts background, I don't seem to find the right guidance from any other source only. Google will help you. But to be honest, you can be agnostic to your background. Any background, you're on a level field. Don't think you're at a disadvantage with anyone else. Shubham, as I have 11 months for CAT 23, I have a VRC question. Should I read extensively till June and then start with CAT VRC questions? Or should I start solving questions? Reading forms 95% of VRC question. Solve a few questions to just know the templates. Maybe you can say, look, I'll take one set of 4 RCs every month. In one in Jan, one in Feb, one in March, one in April. But otherwise, I'm just going to build reading. So that's fine. As a strategy, that is fine completely. Lakshya, thank you. So all the positive learning throughout CAT 2022. Finally score 90. Oh, that's spectacular. Spectacular. All the best. Hopefully, phase 2 goes well. When will the IIM calls, MDA calls be released rather quickly? IIMs released rather quickly. I think they might have been caught off guard by the fact that CAT results came perhaps 10 days ahead of schedule. Anyway, Christmas to New Year is a lull period worldwide, but it will come soon. Wonderful, folks. I definitely wanted to start off the year with a session where we say, hey, hi, all our students, just to start off with our YouTube channel by saying, hey, best wishes, would like to meet us, just talk to students. So I'm super glad that even though it's a Sunday and 1st of January, and even though several other things might have been on your plate, you all turned up to say, hey, good, we'll have a chat, we'll say hi. We have a fabulous course for CAT 2023. Check it out. Best wishes for your XAT. And more than all of this, a merry, happy, wonderful New Year to all of you from the entire team at OIF. Hopefully 2023 will turn out to be fantastic, better than the last two, with good news and good vibes to all of us. Thank you. Shubham, for building LR basic user distribution puzzles, any suggestion? Previous year question. Probably 2017, 18, 19, 20, 21, 26 years worth. First two were two papers, next three were three papers. So there are probably 15 papers to select, 60, 70 papers. So there's choose a few of them. If you're storing up the CAT sessions for taking mocks, previous year papers is taking mock, take one or two to get the flavor. Others you can build. Lovely stance, but 98.6, brilliant, and many thanks once again. Taking time out and saying, hey, all of you as well. If some provider, some influencer, some YouTube channel guy, I'm not a big fan of influencers. Having said that, if somebody has made an impact, I'm dropping the email, adding the odd comment saying, hey, thanks, it's useful. Super heartening. So take your time out. Say, drop a mail, drop a hi, a comment, a chat, something saying, hey, thanks for joining. Wonderful, folks. Best wishes for CAT and happy New Year.